Overnight line movers. This is what we like about this show because it does get taped, it's recorded, edited, and sent out. At the time this morning, Teddy, Golden State opened up big favorite, and I see the punch and script up there, -8 to -9 in some outlets. But as we go live, information flows during the day. Draymond Green in a rest day. Teddy, looking at the lines right now, betonline.ag now at a 7. So instead of going from 8 to 9, back from 9-8 to 7, money never sleeps, Teddy, and sharp people are always looking for that next option to eat on here. Might have some available tonight with Golden State and Indiana.
And it's funny, the 7's getting popped. Now they're back to 7.5. I mean, as we speak, this line is jumping all around. The market's made an adjustment without Draymond Green. Now they're getting readjusted. The market saying, you know what, even without Green, this Warriors team is pretty darn good. It's definitely worth noting. I'll talk about this a little bit later in the show as well. But this is a Warrior squad that has a very unique statistical profile. They haven't been good. They've been great in one row, double-digit favorites, 13-4 against the spread. In every other game, when they're not laying doubles, Golden State 9-22-1 against the number. And oh, by the way, that hasn't changed with Boogie Cousins joining the lineup. They're still covering as double-digit chalk, not covering at the same rate. They covered in Boston over the weekend, obviously, but it's been a Warriors team that has consistently failed in this role all year long.
See, folks, that's a radio pro right there, giving you a teaser drop for later to stay tuned between the Golden State Warriors and the Indiana Pacers, which we'll have coming up right there. Nuggets right there you're getting from Teddy. Moving forward here, talking about nuggets of gold. The public eating up some early numbers here. Denver Nuggets blow out the Sixers, but on its face, say, ooh, what a good win that was. Well, the Sixers didn't rest half of their squad. Maybe not so apparent, but early action here. Public loving the Denver Nuggets here against the Memphis Grizzlies. Opened up at 5, bouncing around. Looks like sportsbook.ag showing a -6. We got a little bit of movement in this one, and we'll see how it plays out as the day goes on. Could we have any more line movement here? But it looks like early, it's Denver Nuggets money, Teddy.
Yeah, and of course, when we talk about early money, there's some public money, but we talk about these early, the overnight moves and the early morning moves. This tends to be wise guy money, and certainly the wise guys haven't been in love with Memphis of lately. Memphis has been as bad as anyone. Of course, it's a Grizzlies team that's coming off a rare, very rare, what did they snap, an 8-game skid? They've been awful. But they won against Indiana in their last contest, took advantage of a Pacers team playing without Oladipo. Their first full game without him, and Indiana did not look good in that contest. But asking Memphis to win 2 in a row, you have a bad team that finally got a win. Now they got to play someone good again the next game. The market's saying, we don't trust the Grizzlies to notch 2 wins in a row, even at home.
Folks, you don't need Radio Row this week. You need that betting show on sportsbookreview.com. Give us a follow at SBR Sports Picks on Twitter. Subscribe on YouTube. There's a lot of line movement, a lot of information going on this week since it is Super Bowl week. So always hit that subscribe button. Each and every time me and Teddy go live here on that betting show, you get that notification to pop in and view the programming. We'll keep it moving right here on the Super Bowl, Teddy. Looking at some options out there, pulling back 2.5s now showing back up. So we even had some line movement this morning on Pinnacle and Chris, both 2 offshore accounts here, bouncing back between -2, -2.5. But also saying, Teddy, I know you talked about it last week. Those 56.5s that started creeping forward, now we're getting down to 56s. It is game week. Now the focus of the attention on the public is going to go to the Super Bowl. We'll see where some of these lines end up, but each and every day, moving a little bit time by time here.
Yeah, and of course, after I record this show today, I'm actually going to go down and there's a big lunch, and we're shooting some videos with a bunch of bookmakers in town. For tomorrow's show, I'll have a really good update on exactly what's going on action-wise here in Las Vegas. But one thing we know for sure, 90% of the money here in Las Vegas comes in the last 48 hours before kickoff. I'm sure bookies around the country will say 95% of the money is going to come in the 48 hours before kickoff. Basically, we haven't seen nothing yet. But what we have seen is that there is clear resistance. When this line has been bet up to 3, it's come back down to 2.5. Even at 2.5. And we got 2 pops this morning. 2.5 back to 2, up to 2.5, back to 2, now to 2.5 at Chris. So there is clearly wise guy interest in the LA Rams at some price. They were waiting for 3s. Yes. Now maybe they're starting to gobble up the 2.5s. I thought this line was going to close 3. I'm not convinced that it will. 2.5, 2.75. There will be books that go to 3, but the broader market doesn't look like it's going to get there as this move from 2.5 back down to 2 for the on the Patriots today will clearly tell you.
Yep, interesting stuff. We'll keep you updated as the week goes on as well.